Hey, it's Mike with TechPB, and today we're going to show you how to take apart and service the regulator on the Azodin Zenith and also on the Azodin Chaos. Now, before we start this, the Azodin paintball guns use metric Allen keys, so if you don't have a set of metric Allen keys, don't try to use the standard Allen keys. You're just going to end up stripping the screws out. So get yourself a set of metric Allen keys. We'll bring the camera in closer here and we'll get started. Okay, the first thing you want to do is obviously make sure that your gun doesn't have any air. So let's go ahead and turn the gun on. And then we'll shut the eyes off. And let's just make sure the gun doesn't have any air. Okay, no air in the gun. So now what we'll do is let's go ahead and remove the regulator. It's actually a very, very easy regulator to take apart, and it actually kind of reminds me a lot of the like the Hyper 2 design, the Dye Hyper 2. It's very similar to that. Now what you're going to do is there's a set screw here on the back of the regulator, a very small set screw, and it's the only one on the entire body. So let's go ahead and remove the set screw. It's just above the swivel collar. So remove the set screw. And then once we have the set screw removed, we can now start to unscrew the bottom part of the regulator. It's probably the hardest step in the whole thing. So out comes the bottom part of the regulator. Out will drop your piston spring. And now you can go ahead and remove your swivel. So I'll start lining these parts up. And then now what you want to do is with your Allen key, just simply press down on the piston and it should drop right out. So there's your piston. And now over here in the piston seat, set that there, is going to roll around. With the piston seat, just go ahead and unscrew the adjustment nut. And then using your piston, just go ahead and gently press down and your piston seat should come out. And that's it. So you have your piston, your spring. This is your piston seat, and this is your adjustment nut. Now, you know, for lubricant, use whatever kind of lubricant you want. Doesn't really matter, honestly. Any lubricant is better than no lubricant. So whether you want to use, 55, 33, hater sauce, lurker lube, it really doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and start putting this back together. And basically all I'm doing here is just lubricating it. Now you always want to take the piston. You're going to see the piston has a brass side and the piston has the seat side, which is that little piece of, I don't know if that's silicone or Teflon, that little, that seal right here. You want to push this back into the bottom part of the body with the seal part facing up. So the seal part is facing up. Let's go ahead and press that back into the bottom here. Okay, press that up until it stops. Let's go ahead and take a little bit more of our lubricant. For this video, I'm just using the hater sauce marmalade. It works good for a regulator lubricant. And let's go ahead and take our piston. And our piston, you want to put it in with the large face facing up and the spring on the bottom. So let's go ahead and slide that in. That slides in. Now we can start putting the two halves together. Now here's probably the one tricky part about doing this. If you tighten this down too tight, you're not going to be able to swivel the swivel part. Okay, so what you actually have to do is tighten it until it's snug, back it out about a quarter of a turn, and then lock the set screw into place. And then just make sure that your swivel here can swivel, which it does. Now with the adjustment screw, the important thing to remember with the Azodin regulators is just like the Dye regulator, if you screw it, the screw all the way in, you shut off the air pressure. As you start to back it out, you increase the pressure. So probably a good starting point would be, pushing it until about it's snug. Don't go any further until it's snug, because if you keep torquing it down, you're going to damage that reg seat. Push it down until it's snug, and then back it out about 4 turns. 2, 3, 4. That's a really good place to start on the gun, and obviously you're going to want to take it to a chronograph and test the gun out and see how it's shooting. Now basically all we're going to do is let's go ahead and screw it back onto the gun. Move the swivel into place. Push on the piece of macro line. Now what we'll do is we'll take an air tank and and turn it on. Like I said, this is the same regulator that's on the Blitz, and it's the same regulator that's on the Zenith. Very easy to take apart. So obviously we don't hear any leaks. Let's go ahead and test it. Seems to shoot fine. And that's about it. So that is how you take apart the Azodin regulator, which is found on the Zenith and also on the Azodin Blitz. Thank you.